Hey, Fidelity. What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
That's music to my ears.
I can only talk.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Sell order assessment fee not included. A limited number of ETFs are subject to a transaction-based service fee of $100. See full list at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Are negative Google reviews hurting your business? Don't let unfair feedback cost you customers. At Webamax, we specialize in removing false, misleading, and damaging reviews so your online reputation stays strong. Our expert team works quickly and legally to clean up your digital presence, helping you rebuild trust. Visit us on the web at www.gowebamax.com. That's GOWEBIMAX.com, or text us for a free quote at 856-840-8343. Don't let bad reviews define you. Get immediate help from Webamax.
This episode is brought to you by Abercrombie. There's nothing better than the perfect jean and going out top combo, or an outfit that perfectly matches your plans. Abercrombie's relaxed jean goes with every occasion. Date nights with something lace, or daytime with a cozy sweater. And their barrel jean will surprise you. It's the trend that will become a staple in your wardrobe. Abercrombie denim comes in tons of rises, fits, and washes. Find your perfect pair online or in store.
Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Virtuo Pup, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
We are 2 days away from the beginning of March, about 10 days away from the beginning of the new league year. A lot of things are in motion. Happy birthday, Erykah Badu, before we get too deep into this, right?
Salute to her.
Yeah, salute to her and everything about her.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, I love her too. HER.
Okay.
Hip hop heads though.
Mm-hmm.
As always, I'm brought to you by the good folks at FFSN, and I'm flanked by my NFC North bros, Dave, June, and BFoster. No Packers representation because the Packers are trash. And as always, I'm your boy Pay. And if you vote for me, I can promise you two things in my administration. One, you don't have to email me about the 5 things you did last week. And two,
wow,
the first thing I do on my first day of my administration, I will make thong sandals illegal. Real football fans wear shoes.
You got my vote.
There you go, guys. Before we get into this talk,
before you say that though, I got a question. What if those shoes, those thong shoes, match their fingernail polish?
If they match the fingernail polish, I might give it some discretion. But as of right now,
let's move on.
As of right now, everything's illegal. You put on some shoes and knock it off, or you put on slides. That's it. But fellas, we have the combine is ramping up this week.
Yeah,
we've got all of my college football fans. This is one of their favorite weeks outside of the Senior Bowl, Shrine Game, and all that stuff right there, right? You get to see what your favorite players have been up to, or how they measure up to some of those other studs as we vie for the next NFL group of legends, right? This is where you make your money. Shout out to Anthony Richardson, the quarterback for the Colts, right? This is where you get paid. You can do a lot if you're an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dave, do you have boots on the ground in Indianapolis? Is anybody from Vikings First and Skull in town?
No, he's down in Mexico.
Down in Mexico. There's a lot of football news in Mexico right now.
Well, he was down there. It's Tyler's first vacation in 3 years, and then 4 years ago when he was down there, he did run into some football news, football players and coaches while he was there, but he hasn't this time.
Okay, all right, it's no big deal. Right,
now,
we
do have beat writers there though.
Oh, you do have boots on the ground.
Well, Minnesota beat writers that I follow are there.
Okay. Something like boots. Close to boots.
Beat writer
Kitten
boots.
Hills, rather. June, Foster, how do you guys measure up for this week? Is it on a scale of 1 to 5? Where does this week land to you on the football calendar?
Well, first of all, I want to say this, right? It was 51 degrees yesterday and it snowed today. Anything football-wise works because this weather sucks. It's snowing.
Well, it sounds like football weather to me, June.
Oh, man, you get a dome, you'll change your mind. Anyway, those things go out the window when you play with a roof, man. And, you think about that stuff, but that's cool. But you know how I feel about this combine, man. I'm ready to see the 40 times, the bench presses, the height and weight of these athletes. I'm all for it. Ranks a 5 for me. I am ready.
5. Ooh, 5 out of 5. What about you, Foster?
Oh yeah, this is one of those times of year that we all look forward to watching our these freak athletes run around in what do they say, the underwear Olympics, whatever they call it. But
whoa!
I mean that's what they call it. They're wearing tights and shorts and stuff. I think that's what they call it. But
they do.
But yeah, this is
Foster. We got to talk.
Good time of year. This is June's first winter in Michigan, so he's not familiar with the changes. But yeah, this is pretty par for the course. Sun 50 degrees to snow, pretty regular.
I mean, it's regular for you because you go to Florida at the drop of a dime, or you fly somewhere whenever you feel like it. I have to deal with this.
I'm here, right?
For now.
He's right. He's right about that, Foster. You do be gone. And
no, you're not talking. You just got off a flight the other day.
Just to get to the show.
It was a dangerous day for me in the life of pay. I did something very dangerous. I hopped a flight. But I am here.
Yes.
So we are good about that. But Foster, to your credit, you were also right about something. It is called the Underwear Olympics, or it's in some parts of the country, the Spandex Showcase.
Safer reference, probably.
We have to find better references for football, man. This is just no.
So, fellas, the official athletes take the field tomorrow, right? On the 27th. Keep me honest.
Yes, first group does.
First group. So before that, the execs. This is the execs were in town. This is where they make their money. As you know, the athletes, they make their money when they put up them impressive times and bench press 225 47 times. That's where they get paid. But the execs make their money right now when you are out there at happy hour, tampering, for lack of a better term. Really?
They don't call it TamperCon for a reason. We've all heard of Comic-Con. This is TamperCon.
TamperCon. I thought he said tampon.
We are batting 1,000 today with these.
Foster, now you didn't stretch
my ears are so good.
We are batting 1,000 a day, but fellas, I tell you that.
But yeah, you're right. This is the time of the year, Dave, where those execs and the agents, the Jerry Maguires of the world, they're worth their weight in salt. this is where you make those relationships and you get things done. We don't know as of right now at this point in the off season. We don't know who is winning in that regard. I mean, because that'll play out once free agency starts, and you say, "Oh, look at this player. How did this player end up over there?" Right? You know, oh, you know what? He's got a good agent. He's over there, you know, cutting deals, shaking hands, cutting deals, buying drinks. You know, sending friends up to the room at 2 a.m. Hey, whatever gets the job done, I'm all for it. Hey, Ryan Poles, get it done. You got enough money. But what we can take from right now at this point, and we can gleam into the thought processes of where our franchises are looking to do this offseason based on what they say at the press conference that they had leading into the combine week. And Dave, I'm gonna kick it off with you. Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi, they were pretty direct about what they need to do with this offseason. Operation number one, they want, and I'm gonna use a term that Kevin O'Connell used, and not Kevin O'Connell, but Kwesi used. I counted 7 times. He wants optionality at the cornerback position. What does that mean, Dave?
That he wishes to bring in and foster a group of quarterbacks that when they go to free agency, i.e. Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones, that the Vikings have the option of saying, no, we want you back. We're willing to pay you X amount of dollars. Or they've got somebody in-house, J.J. McCarthy, that they're ready to go with. But they want to leave everything open. Now, they have to say certain things. Not once did either Kwesi or Kevin O'Connell say they want Sam Darnold back. They said a lot of great things about him. We're glad to have him. He had a fantastic season. We loved his growth, yada, 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 yada. But they never said he wanted back. If you dissect what they said, they never did. Now, would they be happy to have him back? Sure. At a certain price. More likely, they're willing to let him go. Now, what they're doing when meeting with agents, and meeting with agents is not illegal, right? You can meet with all the agents of all your pending free agents to see what their market is in case you want to bring them back. How much would Sam Darnold cost to come back? Does the agent demand? Oh, it's a franchise tag, $41 million. Well, that's a little bit above our level. Now, while they're meeting with said agents, they're also asking about other players that the agents represent or whatever that may be on a team that they might want to inquire about. You know, the illegal stuff also goes on at the same time. But when it comes to the quarterback and that whole, we want options, it's a good deal. They do want options. They want to be able to staff the quarterback room with the starter, with a backup that can handle the backup position, and then a developmental guy. And it's a good philosophy to have. We all want it.
Another good philosophy to have is to not do anything illegal, Dave. Don't be like those Miami Dolphins. Don't lose a draft pick before the draft even starts. Just because you need a quarterback and the GOAT is interested in you, just keep it above table, you know?
Last year with Kirk Cousins. It would have worked great until Kirk Cousins opened his mouth.
Those damn quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. And admitted, yeah, oh no, we talked beforehand. Mm-hmm. I came down here to scout houses.
Yep, too bad, man. The Atlanta housing market is not a very forgiving market. Kirk, got to rent. Sometimes you just got to rent, buddy. The
Poor
other
guy.
thing I saw, yeah, poor guy. Yeah, he's had such bad luck.
Hey, the Falcons say they're going to keep him as a backup. And we're going, yeah, right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the Atlanta Falcons make some very wise decisions with their roster and quarterbacks. I would not doubt their direction or their thought process. I would just say I wouldn't do it. Dave, something else that picked up on the press conference, not from Kwesi this time, but KOC, Kevin O'Connell. He made mention about Christian Darrisaw.
Yes, he did.
Where he's at in his rehab process. And it sounds like you all are actually interested in keeping Cam Robinson on retainer as well, even when Darrisaw is back. Man, you're wiggling in your chair, Dave. You don't want to keep him? Please.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Tackle needy teams.
Tackle
needy teams would use them.
I did not say that. I think it'd be great if we could. If generally it takes about a year to recover from an ACL-ish timeline-wise. Now, Christian Darrisaw is ahead of schedule, which we all like to hear. How much of it is true, I have no idea. We all like to hear about it on all our injured players. He's ahead of schedule, right? When has the team come out and gone, oh, no, he sucked up this rehab and he's behind schedule? We all hear he's ahead of schedule. Would I like him at the beginning of the year? Sure. Now, by the beginning of the year, week 1 is what I'm talking about. But still expect, for Vikings fans that are watching or listening, expect a lag in his performance coming off that ACL because he's going to be questioning his knee. And hopefully the rehab's gone well and they've strengthened both sides equally and he's gotten over having the one side favored versus the other. If he's not ready week 1, we need a starting left tackle to play in his place. Now, could that be Cam Robinson? Sure. Do I think it's going to be Cam Robinson? Probably not, because he's going to get good money on the free market. But again, that's what the whole talking to his agent's going to be about. How much does Cam want? We're willing to pay this. Can we move Cam to guard once, Christian Darrisaw's back? All that stuff goes through people's minds when they're listening to what Kevin O'Connell says. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I don't think he's coming back because I think he's going to get a starting gig somewhere. But we will see. I would like to have him back because he's better than our swing tackles. But we'll find out. But like I said, KOC emphasized Christian Darrisaw is ahead of schedule, meaning he might start week 1. He won't participate in any of the summer activities.
Dave, for somebody without boots on the ground, you definitely sound very informed. You might have some sandals on the ground. Shout out to Tampering for the comment. Alley-oop. Let's switch over to the Detroit Lions, fellas. Dan Campbell, his press conference largely was about replacing his staff that he lost majority of, obviously, go Bears. He mentioned that it is difficult, replacing staff members, but he's big on not blocking guys from taking other opportunities, especially further in their career, which I find to be very telling about his character, right? As you see in down in Florida, Tampa Bay and Jacksonville, they're having an issue with their letting coaches go be great, right? That's not an issue with Dan Campbell. He hires guys who look familiar, who I was like, I'm glad he's giving him an opportunity, and I'm glad he's letting him, spread his wings and continue on about their on their career, down their career path. But guys, how did you all? He mentioned, he didn't mention, but he talked about how he wants guys who are like-minded. Is that the type of staff that you would prefer to be all like-minded like Dan, or you want some, individuals in the room?
I mean, it definitely makes it to where everybody is aligned and that folks are on the same page. So, I mean, I think that the entire organization and all the players are, walk pretty lockstep in the mentality that Dan Campbell is. So it certainly shouldn't stop with his coaching staff. So I'm all for with, how he chooses to hire his staff members.
He definitely, and he also said the worst thing you could do is hire your buddies, right? You want to hire guys who you feel like you're competent. How do you all feel about the new hires? Do they give you a sense of? I know it's early, right? They're not former NFL players like Antoine Randall, Deuce McAllister, not Deuce McAllister, but what's my man name? Running back coach you all had.
Staley,
yeah, Staley. And some of the other, and the quarter, Mark Brunell. So obviously it's not necessarily how you feel about those guys because they don't have the name recognition that the previous guys had. But are you confident in the guys that's just based on resume, the guys you've had replace the guys that went out?
Well, it's a wait and see for me, being that, especially let's go defensive coordinator, right? First time being defensive coordinator, first time calling defensive plays. However, on the pro side of it, he's been in the system. He's coached alongside Aaron Glenn. He was his understudy while he was here. So a lot of defensive philosophies may or may not change. So, and then the players knowing, and they know what to expect. But with the offensive coordinator, it's wait and see. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how that's going to gel. We do have the players in place on offense, but you don't know. It's just one of those things we have to wait and see, because we've seen good teams have bad coordinators and have big expectations, and things have imploded. So it's just wait and see for me.
And just to piggyback on that, I know Kelvin Shepard, the defensive coordinator, was actually coached by Dan Campbell. He's not as notable and as recognizable face as a Randall L., Mark Brunell, et cetera, et cetera. But he is a former player. He played under the helm of Dan Campbell in Miami, I believe. But I will say that it's always the sexier pick to pick somebody that you can recall and remember playing. But all former players and all former notable players don't always make good coaches. Ben Johnson didn't play probably middle school football, but obviously a great football mind. So always tough to judge until you really get an opportunity to see them make things happen on the field.
And you have to give the offensive coordinator the benefit of the doubt going into the season with established offensive line, 2,000-yard rushers and 2,000-yard receivers, an up-and-coming tight end. I mean, you can't really botch it up. You might not live up to what Ben Johnson did, but you can't really mess this up.
No, I mean, I think the offensive side of the ball, just like what you said, Joe, I think he's got a head start. But I like that you did bring up the defensive side. Shep, who's defensive coordinator up there in Detroit. It's going to be interesting watching how he fills in the shoes with Aaron Glenn, because as you know, Aaron Glenn was a former defensive back. Shep, they say, as I learned from this press conference, he's more so focused on the front seven more versus what Aaron Glenn was. Aaron Glenn was more focused on the back four guys. So I want to see how that new defensive philosophy, what happens. And as you all, your name has been bandied around in the sweepstakes for Myles Garrett. And you do have Hutch coming back, as you said last week. Hutch is back running full sprints. You might have something dangerous cooking up there in the front seven. So I hope, for everyone's sake, mostly more so the Bears' sake, They get their offensive lines in check early and often.
But speaking of the Lions coaches, tell us about Casey Rogers, your new defensive line coach. Speaking of Myles Garrett and Hutch.
If you know something, let us know.
Hey, one of the things Campbell highlighted in his presser.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the full presser. I just know he gave praises to the who he hired, and I know he was very grateful of the hires, and he's also he gave compliments to Ben Johnson and his staff as well, putting together the staff he's put together. So that's about the extent that I know of it. I do not know any information about this new hire that you're talking about, though.
Okay. Well, one of the reasons he gives compliments to Ben Johnson is Ben Johnson took half the Lions staff with him.
Right.
Well, he didn't take Dennis Allen, and that was a great hire. So you got to give him credit for that at least.
I'm pretty excited about what the Bears was able to put together this short offseason span. You know, we did have an early start to the offseason. We had a head start. And I'm going to be cautious in saying that the Bears have won the offseason. I said that a lot last year. Didn't work out in my favor. So I'm going to recalibrate. I'm going to learn some lessons from past mistakes. No such thing as winning the offseason. I just like what the Bears have done so far. And going into this press conference, one thing I like my coach. I like him. He's one of those guys that you walk in a room, he commands the room, right? He's electric. He's magnetic. And that doesn't win you football games.
Wait, hold on. You got
I
that?
get it. I get it. It don't win you football games. However, it is the exact opposite of what Flus was. Flus, he stood in the back of rooms. He was more so reserved. He was tepid, and he was a liar. He'd get in front of that microphone and he lied all the time. and if the point is I'm definitely going to until FEMA comes and strikes me down, Dave. The point is, we want to do opposite of what the Flus regime was. I want to do everything opposite. So if this is going in that direction, I'm all for it. Let's keep it going.
Wait. You mentioned that you get, this electricity or this energy when Ben Johnson walks in the room in such an early time. My suggestion is for you to at least look into changing fabric softeners or something. You might want to look into that.
I mean, okay, all right. I'm not going to say that I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid early. I mean, you are.
Be careful. We are the early Kool-Aid drinker kings around here. Be careful.
That's fine. That's fine. I will be. The easiest thing to be in life is what do you call it? Pragmatic or a hater or something like that. All right. I want to have a little optimism with my cereal. All right. I'm gonna have a little optimism in the morning. All right. It's deserved. Especially after a 7-10 season, and then we had some optimism. Then we followed that up with a 5-win season. That type of stuff will take the sun out the sky, so to speak. So yeah, if we got some optimism right now, I'm going to ride with it, and we definitely need it because there are some things I have not liked. One, I would have preferred Ben Johnson was having his press conference with a new general manager, not the old one, Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles should not still have a job in Chicago, and he got a contract extension last week. That irked me to no end, especially because a few weeks before they hired Ben Johnson, Kevin Warren, the president, you remember him, Dave? He said that there was no plan to extend Ryan Poles. He had a year. His exact words was, "Well, a year is a long time. to which we all took as that, hey, Ryan, you got to save your job this year. You got no more excuses. And then he hired Ben Johnson and went ahead and gave him an extension. Like, wait, how does that work? You just hired a coach, your second coach, mind you, and you get an extension for that? The only reason you had to hire the second coach is because the first one sucked. I don't buy into that. It was not my favorite thing in the world. However, there's a lot of good stuff coming from the Bears press conference. Ben Johnson talked about how he put together his staff. He personally said he didn't want to hire any of his homies, which, again, I like because we've done that too much in the last few years. Guys hiring guys that they're friends with, and those friends made them look bad in front of the boss. You don't need that. Ben said he looked for character guys who can, he can bounce ideas off and people that might, tell him he's wrong. He wanted people to challenge him. And that's what he's got in a former head coach and Dennis Allen as a defensive coordinator. He did bring up some guys from Detroit, guys he's worked with and guys he believes in. So I'm all for it. Love that we've got to see. And all things considered from Ryan Poles, I did like that he is at least on verbally, because again, I've caught him in a couple of lies myself. So at least right now, it sounds like he's committed to spending the money where it's needed this season. That's what he says. We shall see what he does. Trey Smith, fingers crossed. And that also means do not even think about Myles Garrett. Everybody keeps pointing to Myles Garrett into this division. I'll prefer Myles Garrett stays in Cleveland, which what their general manager said at their press conference. He said Myles Garrett is not on the trade block, contrary to what popular belief says. I prefer he stay there. I keep him out of the NFC North. I don't want him in the Bears because he's too expensive. I don't want him playing in Detroit because that's scary. And I don't want him in Minnesota either because that should be illegal. And if he goes to Green Bay, I quit. Fellas, all right. So let's go ahead and take a break. We're going to talk about some players.
Whoa. Speaking of Green Bay. Did you watch LaFleur?
I did not. I had something better to do at that point. What did LaFleur get into?
Oh, see, mention his name and they're already after you. One, they're talking about how confident he was in that professional quarterback, that he showed such a good, outstanding year, to quote, hell of a year, and he believes that they can go on. Now, he did worry about different parts of the team that, one, their wide receivers, and two, some of the defense. They want pass rush. As well as just about half the league wants pass rush. So we'll see how they do. It's going to be interesting. And there was not a whole lot of coach change up there. There wasn't a whole lot of coach change in Minnesota. We just hired a new assistant offensive line coach this week and yesterday. But other than that, he plans on evaluating everybody, everything, all that blah, blah, blah. But the big deal is he's worried about Christian Watson and his injuries and Romeo Dobbs' uneven production. But other than that, he's all giddy about Jordan Love. So let him be giddy.
Giddy about Love.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a lyrics.
That's that's interesting.
Giddy.
Yeah, giddy about Love.
But I don't know if you all heard, it was the Packers that whined about the tush push.
Yeah, I've heard that. I heard that. And again, this is the one time you're ever going to hear me say this. I don't disagree with Green Bay here. I think it's a cheap play. It is football. It is football. So if the owners said last year when they tried to ban, they said, you know what, it's cool. So I said, okay, fine, whatever. But if somebody complains and say, you know, we can get this out of the game, I'm not against that either. If let the votes go where they go.
I just find it weird that they were the ones that whined and cried. Boo-hoo.
Well, I mean, well,
they were
the Packers, they haven't had much to do since they got excused from football a month or so ago. And what they're what 0-2 this year. Sucks to be them. I wouldn't know anything about that life, but because my team is undefeated in the calendar year.
The Bears.
Christ.
So
now we can take a break.
Love, exciting and new. Hello, Hannah Waddingham here. Have you seen the fabulous new Sun Princess? World-class entertainment, exceptional dining, and the greatest pizza ever. It's
Don't miss our Come Aboard sale with up to 40% off and free room upgrades. Visit princess.com or call your travel advisor to book. Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Offer ends 2/28/25. Ships of Bermudan and British Registry.
Okay, so the players take the field tomorrow. Which position group comes up first? Does anybody know?
I can look.
I would assume it's usually the down linemen that come up first. They get their skills going up.
Defensive lineman, not offense. I know that.
Defensive lineman. Yeah, we got in the comments. D-line and linebacker probably come up first tomorrow. That sounds about right. Do we have any guys we are paying attention to from the linebacker core?
Me personally, Jahad Campbell. He's out of Bama. Obviously, the Lions love those Bama players. He's got an explosive first step. He's got some coverage instincts, and he's pretty versatile. He can play the mic, the will, and the edge. So I think it's about time that we start developing some young linebackers that can chase after more mobile quarterbacks. And yeah, looks to be a pretty appealing prospect.
Guy I'm looking forward to is Mike Green. I want to see what he does. Kid out of Marshall. We got some film that's going to be popping up on our channel later this week on him, and that is somebody that I hope the Bears got an eye on. Right, he pops off the tape. All the film that I've looked at on the All 22, he jumps off the screen. I like that type of. We need it. The Bears haven't had a real dog linebacker. At least a green dot. I'm gonna clarify that. We haven't had anybody in the middle that can be like super aggressive and stout since we traded away Rohan to the Baltimore Ravens. We definitely need that in Chicago because Chicago needs that type of player, right? What about the down lineman? Anybody in particular you looking at there, Dave?
Yes, there is. One, probably the top that the Vikings won't even be close to getting. You may like Mason Graham, but I'll bet he's going top 5. That dude's an absolute freak. Now, who I'm looking at in prey falls to 24 is Kenneth Grant from Michigan.
Oh,
I would love to see him absolutely dominate and fall to 24. That's the question is, where is he going to go? He could go, 10-ish or 10 to 20 is what I'm figuring. But it's going to be interesting to see. You also got Walter Nolan and Deion Walker that are interesting, or more likely for around us, possibly a little bit later, Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State. Those are the guys I'm looking at tomorrow.
Those are your boys, Joan.
You said somebody from Ohio State. You might want to clear that up.
Yeah, you mixed it. You can't mix it. Like,
No, he said. What's my man name
Graham.
from Michigan?
Those were two of my boys.
Right.
He said Ohio State.
From Ohio State is at the bottom of my list.
Yeah, watch him out.
The top two are Michiganders.
We not
Ohio
from
State.
63rd.
They're yeah. If you was from 63rd, it's on site every time. But you know, Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State, they're not exactly brothers. But you know, when you all, I would assume you are very familiar with their work.
It's just like we're familiar with each other's work in the division.
And lack thereof.
I'll never admit it on camera.
As you should. What about players? Dave, you brought something up there. What about players you were hoping to fall? Some guys that you're like, yeah,
like Kenneth Graham. Yes, please.
Yeah, Kenneth Graham. Like maybe this guy doesn't need to have a very good combine. I hope he stumbles in the cones just so he can maybe he stay out past curfew.
I'm gonna tell you something. He's a very nimble athlete. I don't foresee that happening.
No, I agree. Absolutely. But all I can picture is Flores turning him into a pressure machine from the inside.
Tremendous feet work. He's a freak.
Do you guys need any more edge rushers? Like, come on. This is ridiculous.
Oh, he's a D tackle.
He's a tackle. Oh,
he's anywhere from a 0-1, 2-3 tech.
Yeah.
Generally. He could probably play 5. He might be a defensive end in a 3-4 like we line up, but that's not an edge rusher.
Right.
What about some of those stars in the draft? I know Shador and what's my man out of Penn State, Abdul Carter. They're not going to participate. Is anybody else have you heard that's not going to participate? Is Cam Ward going to be there?
Ward's not participating, which leaves folks like Jackson Dart and the other quarterbacks available to make money if they show out. They may move into the bottom of that first round. They might. Genty, the running back phenom out of Idaho, is not participating in the drills either. He came in there and did all the interviews and the medical checks and all that stuff with everybody else, but
he's not running at all. He's running a 40.
Nope. Cardinal is number one
he's clear cut number one. Yeah,
for sure.
I'm
just curious. I like to see the 40 times. That's all.
Yeah, the running back's not participating. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of mind blocking to me.
We're going more and more to this, where especially the top, the creme de la creme, the blue chippers are bowing out. Now
you can only hurt yourself. I feel
right.
Like.
That's I guess, but somebody has he's right there at the precipice, right? He's a top running back, clear as day. But but an impressive showing. Even he could probably still do it at his pro day. But an impressive showing when everyone's in the building at the combine, you can definitely lock yourself into a top 10 spot. I mean, that's money,
big time.
And same thing
tear it up and just mess it all up.
I mean, that's the risk. It's sports, man. You
tear it up as far as injury. I mean, as far as
better choice of words there, Frost.
Yeah, I know.
There is the injury aspect of it too. We see guys run a 40 and pull a hammy, 3/4 of the way down the track.
Hey man, you're trying to get bread, man. No one's going to fault you for trying to leave it all out there and get that extra money, right?
Now, I have heard some organizations don't like that they don't participate because it doesn't show their competitive edge.
Of course, yeah.
Most of these guys are athletes and they want to go out and prove, hey, I'm the best. And so they're going to compete.
or think that I've done that on the field.
Right.
I mean, it makes it easier for, as we said at the top of the show, it makes it easier for your agent to sell you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're one of the smart ones, and I'm not trying to use this to besmirch anybody who doesn't have an agent, but if you're one of the guys who made the right decision, in my opinion, to hire representation, you got to let him do his job. And he's best thing he can do for him is to go out there and give him something to work with that is top of mind to everybody that's there, right?
But I got a question. We all want to see it, but the combine is changing. Technology is changing. Everybody's now tracked GPS live data during the games. Those GPS tracking data is given to the teams from the college groups or whatever that do it. And there's like 3 different varieties thereof. And they all see it. They can see the Gentee runs on the field at 22 miles an hour or whatever the number is. Full pads with defenders trying to hit him. Is that not more important than what he can do in a 40 in front of track shoes?
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more important when you're making these actual football decisions in the war room, rather, right? But there's still and I think we said this last year during our combine lead-up show. I think there's still an antiquated desire to see the players up close and personal, perform in these drills, just to see the fast twitch muscles live and in person. Not to say that it's necessary, but yeah, I agree, Dave. You can probably all of this is probably antiquated. Just use that same word again.
Now, I feel if you're doing it at the combine, right? You want to raise your stock. 2, you want to compete. And if you are successful at that, then you get public sentiment behind you, and the owners listen to that, and they pass it down to their DMs and all that. Hey, the fans are really wanting us to get this kid because he did he was an offensive lineman and he ran a 4.9.
And if you're a New York Jets fan, not only is the owner listening, but the owner's kids. That's important.
Exactly. And the kid is the one that makes the decisions.
Yes, it's true. And not just one of them. They both make the decisions.
Like kind of like Elon.
I think it is kind of like Elon. His son does tell him what to do. Or tell the president what to do. But again, different show. Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, they won't perform. So this week I won't have the opportunity to cross my fingers and hope that quarterbacks will shoot up the draft and help the Bears out with a better draft pick at number 10. But Jackson Dart is interesting. There are some interesting teams out there needing quarterbacks, and Matt Stafford, damn you Rams. He's messing up the flow for my squad. He's messing with the church's money. I don't like it. I just hope that Jackson Dart comes out there at the combine and performs.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so. So that's one of those things.
Flow is Matthew Stafford. He's messing up our tag and trade for Sam Darnold, or the possibility thereof. He's going to be the first big domino in free agency to see where everybody goes. Quarterback.
Yeah, I do think that'll be the first big one. And hopefully, I'm still holding out hope that he, LA gives him the guaranteed dollars he's looking for. They keep him in house. So some of these draft pick rookie quarterbacks can shoot up the board, and Bill Carter falls to 10. Don't shake your head, Foster. Let me drink.
I don't like it. I don't like the way it sounds one bit.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Hey, what if a team, all those quarterbacks fly up the draft board and Abdul Carter, and someone wants to trade with the Bears for number 10 and give them their draft pick, and now we get Abdul Carter and Mike Green sitting right in front of us, and we can pick them back to back. What about that? Sound good?
Worse, way worse.
Abdul Carter's probably going 1 to Tennessee.
Man, let's not worry about. Let's not mess up a good story with the obvious things in the room, right? Let's do. Let's
hope to get Myles Garrett.
No, oh, come on now, Dave. That's ridiculous. Let's not do that. Myles Garrett. Yeah, see, I'm glad that you brought that up. Myles Garrett. He's carrying a $36 million cap hit for the Browns.
Yeah, but his pay isn't that bad.
Yeah, but the thing,
it's worth it. But he's going to be looking for an extension.
Exactly. And the Bears may have the money, but he's going to take up too much money. He's already 29. I think he'd be 30 at some point this season. So I don't think that's a necessary move for the Bears. It's a necessary move for the Lions. The Lions can do it.
But like you said, the Browns are saying, no, we're not letting him go.
They're saying that now because they're trying to drive up the price. But come June 1st, we'll see a different tone.
Now, what you should be hoping is that, one, Tennessee does not grab Sam Darnold or whomever and needs to go for Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders.
Yeah, man. Let's get Cam out the way early. Let's get Travis out the paint early. Let's get Jackson Dart out the way early. Shador. Let's get all those guys. In fact, Carson Beck, he's going back to school, right? I think he's transferring to Miami. Ewers, he transferred to Oregon, I think. We need more quarterbacks. Come on, man. Quarterbacks, get in the way. You don't want none of these other players. Let them fall. Let them fall to 10.
Nope, not gonna happen. There's only 2 in this draft.
Any guys you all hoping to fall? We already heard from you, Dave. Detroit. Any guys you all hoping to fall to you all? What do you all draft, like 47? Where's your pick?
Like 29.
28.
Well, I mean, you all had such a great season last year. I didn't know when you were supposed to draft.
28, I think, right?
Yeah, it's either 28. I think it is 28. But
28.
I think the one of the candidates for us to trade up and try to grab it is a Mike Green, who's been kind of fluctuating.
Knock it off.
As far as where he, he's got, they say he's got some character issues. He was suspended by Virginia. That's why he left and fled for Marshall. But yeah, he's already visited. He's already visited with Detroit. So I think he's definitely the dream selection that we would go after. So he's got a good last name. Goes right with my MSU Spartan fandom. So I think
and that Packer and those Packer colors you have to wear. I'm just a messenger. Mike Green, that would be dangerous for you guys, because he's a rover type of linebacker, right? He can play standing up. He does some edge work too.
Yeah, he was strictly a linebacker at Virginia, and then he switched to strictly edge at Marshall. But obviously, he has the experience to drop in coverage in some fashion.
It's diabolical. That's the nasty work we need on the lakefront. Oh my goodness, man. I'm dreaming about it. So, with that being said, combine starts tomorrow, and the official. I think when we do the show next week, it will be time for free agency to start, and I think that'll be around the time the deadline for franchise tags, right?
Not 2 weeks for that.
I think it's about 12 days from now. No, the league starts. The league year starts on the 12th, right? Yeah, so 2 weeks. You're right.
Yeah, and the legal tampering starts on the 10th.
Right.
That's when we're going to get all the, hey, so-and-so agreed to such and such contract.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From the TamperCon that's happening this week.
Trey Smith agrees to a $23 million a year deal. Chicago Bears. Waiting for it.
It's going to cost that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I fully expect 5 years, $100 million. He's going to sign nothing less, something like that.
Oh, it's going
we
to be
got it.
20 a year. He's going to set the market.
25 for a guard.
He's going to set the market. Present is what, 21, 22? He'll be up there in at least 22, I suspect.
Ooh,
it's a lot of money.
Making wide receiver money. I like it.
Hey, cap's going up, baby.
Yeah.
Cap's
going. Yeah, the cap is going up. You're right, because we got a lot of extra money. We're getting rid of the penny.
Now they got to change the nickel because it costs more than 5 cents to make the nickel as well.
Get rid of all of it. Let's save some money so we can make some more. Dave, where can everybody else hear your football rants, reviews, and general news about the Purple People Eaters?
You can catch me at Vikings First and Skull on YouTube, on your favorite podcast aggregator, over at Fans First Sports Network, and we even have a page on Facebook for all you old timers like me.
Whether it's a movie night or just midday, Skinny Pop is a salty snack that keeps on giving. Made with just 3 simple ingredients for an irresistibly delicious taste and a large serving size that lasts. Deliciously popped, perfectly salted. Skinny Pop, popular for a reason. Shop Skinny Pop now.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
You're muted.
Muted.
That's a fine.
I'm sorry. I was. Yeah, that is a fine. Yeah, just throw it right in the jar. I got throw it right in the nick. Throw those nickels right in the jar. So other than Facebook, my guys, my dynamic duo from Detroit, Foster, June, you all covering the combine. I'm assuming on Bleachers Speakers.
Yeah, we're gonna cover it a little bit. You can catch me and Foster on Bleachers Speakers on YouTube. And for those aggregators, Bleachers Speakers, FFSN in your search. Those are platforms like Spotify, YouTube Music, Pandora, Apple Podcasts. You can find us there. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you hit that notification bell and download those episodes.
And that's also where this show will be broadcast from next week. So you definitely, if you like what you see, like what you hear, check them out, subscribe, resubscribe, share with a friend. Be there next week, Wednesday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For Dave at Vikings First and Skull, June and BFoster at the Bleachers Speakers. I'm Pay from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Skull Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
What was that? Want to do it again?
No, I don't want to do it again.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody.
The Bears.
We'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say 3 things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.